Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. It's Teresa here with a layout for the Traci Reed Designs creative team. We are doing OBG Oldies But Goodies featuring the Sunkissed collection. And this is the layout I wanted to share with you today. It's a mixed media layout, including a cut file that I kind of designed myself using one of the cut file elements in the collection. And then I've also got my photo, of course, some stamps and stencils, and some ink cubes here that I want to use already. And so let me just jump right in. I'm also using a watercolor kind of mixed media background just from Strathmore here for the background. And so this is a really cute little kind of sun-inspired stencil that I've used before kind of in this manner. And what I do is just take these Versamark chalk inks and apply the ink directly to the page over the stencil. And I sort of blend the colors into each other, just using a light hand and working from the inside to the outside, kind of going in rainbow order a little bit. And so this is sort of representing the sun here. And then the layout itself is really going to heavily focus on the cut file. So these are his cutest little oranges. Or lemons if you want to use them as that. I've cut them from one of the solid cardstocks in the collection, just printed and cut using my silhouette. Before I did all of that, I brought these into the silhouette and created the background pattern papers for the cut file, and so those are all just repeated down from top to bottom into all of the cut file slots here, or the background pieces. So I'm just going to glue those down really quick. I'm doing them all in the same order. They were all cut in the same size, and so everything works out really easy. And I just had a good time selecting the pattern papers that I wanted to use, the colors that I wanted to emphasize, and really and truthfully it turned out to be quite a colorful layout because I used a lot of orange tones, but also the contrasting turquoise, and that makes it a more interesting, I think, and more vibrant mixed media layout. So I wanted to go ahead and get the rest of the cut file pulled together here and adhered onto the layout because I really wasn't sure what else I wanted to do with the background. I felt like the sunshine itself is kind of alone on the page. It's sort of floating there, starting to bring in a composition here. I know that the photo is going to go on the lower left-hand side of the page, along with the title that I've cut out using the Summer Vibes word art. But other than that, I'm not really sure. So I'm going to play that by ear. Let me go ahead and adhere down the photo cluster. I did print out a couple of the 3x4 pattern cards in the collection to layer behind the photo. They just poke out just a little tiny bit, and there's the Summer Vibes title. And so that's the main elements of my photo cluster. And then I decided that it would probably look really nice to repeat the sun element over here on the lower right hand corner underneath the orange cut files. So I like how that turned out. I did that a little bit lighter, and it's probably a little bit more of the yellow than on the top one, and that's fine. And then I'm also just adding some stamping here, kind of to start to build some other stamping clusters here. This is a stamp set from Tim Holtz, and it included the stamp set and the stencil. I love those together because then you can play between the two different mediums. And so what I'm doing here is, this is kind of a polka dot pattern, which to me kind of feels like bubbles. So I'm just gently applying the pink grapefruit and the yellow ink to the polka dots, and then applying those both to the background at the same time, and then using this wave stencil. This wave stencil is probably from Felicity Jane, from an older collection of theirs, and I'm using some of the blue ink to kind of replicate the idea of water here and repeat the theme of the water that shows in the photo. And these are just some of the ways that you can fill out your backgrounds here, is to take visual cues from your photo or from your embellishments or from your cut file and repeat those around the page. So what I thought I would do here is use this kind of polka dot stencil here to kind of replicate the sky at the top, and again bubbles in the ocean or in the water down below, just to frame out the edges of the layout here. What you want to do is, when you're using plain white cardstock, you have a tendency to feel like you just lost contact with the edges. And so that's kind of why you might feel a compulsion to fill in negative space, because you're looking for that edge. Your eye is constantly, when you look at a canvas or your phone or a magazine, you're looking for the edges of what it is that you are looking at, so you can take it all in. And so all of the mixed media elements here help remind your eyeball, here's the limits of the layout. I also used some of the yellow over top of the blue stencil there, just to kind of repeat the sun theme a little bit. And then just a little about my story here. This was a couple of years ago, right when people were just starting to travel again during COVID, and so hence the mask. We were at Port Royal, South Carolina, and just at sunset there. It was a gorgeous time to take photos, and so that's kind of the background story of this. So some of the things I'm gonna just tuck behind here are the rainbow and those beautiful hibiscus flowers in the collection, and tucking some of those on both sides here of the photo, kind of to balance things out and kind of create, this is sort of a symmetrical, asymmetrical layout, right? Because both the sides do not mirror each other, but they do balance each other out. There's a great visual weight over on the right hand side with the oranges cut file, and a great visual weight on the left hand side with the photo and the title combined. And all of it, again, is brought together beautifully through the color palette and the combination of elements in the background and elements in the foreground. And there's a pretty clear statement, I think, between the background and the foreground. And I love that. I love how it's turning out. I'm adding a little tab there. That'll be perfect for my date. And I also have a little journaling spot there underneath the title so I can do my journaling. It felt like there was still something missing. So I went through my stamp sets a little bit and found this one from Ellie's Studio. It's got some cute little just kind of lines, I think. And I love curving these around elements to help define the edges of your embellishments or edges of your cut files, just like I'm doing here, where I'm just going to stamp around that edge and kind of emphasize. It also, it emphasizes this half circle. It also repeats the half circle motif from the sun. And that's kind of a clever way to, again, repeat elements across your page and give that, that asymmetrical familiarity, right? So I'm going to stamp my date here. Again, just a couple of years ago. Seems like a lifetime ago again. And then add my journaling and then complete the layout. Thank you so much for following my process today. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Be sure to check out the Sunkissed collection. I'll give you a heads up. This collection coordinates beautifully with the brand new Flower Child collection. So if you don't have it, go and get it. I'll have links for you down below. See you back here again soon. Bye-bye.